Hello Cardiff, the headlines. The countdown to the Welsh Assembly elections is underway, with the party leaders outlining their policies at a special debate in Cardiff city centre, and how apprenticeships and youth employment programmes have helped cut the jobless figures here in the capital. From our studios in St Mary Street, Cardiff's local news begins now. I'm Laura Allen. Our top story. In the run-up to May's Assembly election, the four political party leaders attended a special event in Cardiff city centre to address issues raised by local people. It was organised by Citizens Cymru Wales and saw hundreds of people from all across Wales challenge their policies. Rosalie Miller reports.
The four main political leaders campaigning to be the new First Minister of Wales joined an enthusiastic crowd last night who challenged each party's policy. I caught up with Plaid Cymru leader Leanne Wood after the debate.
We've worked very hard to come up with solutions to the problems people have told us that they face, chiefly in the health service, the education system and the economy in terms of jobs. Those are the three areas that we've concentrated on, and we've come up with a series of policies in each of those areas in order to improve people's lives. The NHS is in a precarious state at the moment. We've got a Labour government in Wales intent on running it down and a Tory government in Westminster intent on selling it off. Its future is secure with Plaid Cymru. We've done the work, we've got the policies, we've identified the cash that we need to invest in the health service. What we need now is the support and the backing of people throughout the country in order that we can implement our plans.
And with the European referendum looming, is Europe going to be a major campaign point for you?
I hope not. I hope very much that when people go to the ballot box in May, they'll think about Wales, the NHS, our education system, and that they leave those other considerations like the migration crisis, the other matters relating to the EU until June. I want people to separate the two issues out.
So how important was tonight for you?
Tonight was a very interesting event. I've not been to a political meeting quite like this. It was a very lively and quite excited audience, I suppose, but some very good sound politics and some very interesting discussions put on the table.
The event run by Citizen Cymru invited hundreds of people from communities across Wales to tell the political leaders exactly what needs to change and ask them how they would commit to these issues.
We wanted to get the people, the communities of Wales involved in politics as possible, make people realise as well that the Welsh elections are happening, are very important. Like the Welsh government have £80 billion that they have to deal with. It's not just a flag and a few words, it's a huge part of our lives. We wanted to get people involved in it. It should be the politics in its entirety. It's in the people's power to decide how their lives are going to be governed, and the most important aspects that should be brought up in the corridors of power.
I think it's important to give them the message that politics is no longer something that just remains the domain of politicians. Politics is for the people. It started off with the people, and it's now we're reclaiming it for ourselves. So we're organising our communities and saying to politicians, we're not going to put up with the same old, same old. We want action, and we want to change the world now.
So we've heard from each political party what they would do for Wales if they were to win in the May election. And with 7 weeks to go, it's the candidates' last push to listen to the communities and get the vote of the people. I'm Rosalie Miller, bringing you Cardiff's local news from the Tabernacle Welsh Baptist Church.
A magician has been jailed for 14 years for raping a boy and indecently assaulting two others. 55-year-old Mark Richard Davis worked as a children's entertainer using the stage name Mark Major. The court heard the offences happened in the 80s and 90s. Davies used to live in Llanedin, but since moved to Northamptonshire. Thousands of staff at the Cardiff office of insurance firm Admiral will get a £1,000 bonus as a thank you from boss Henry Engelhardt before he retires. Mr Engelhardt retires in May after 25 years at the group he co-founded in 1991. The move will personally cost him £7 million. The number of young people in jobs in Cardiff has risen by 32% in the last year, and it's thanks to local employers. That's according to Matthew Thomas at Job Centre Plus. He says apprenticeships and youth employment programmes have helped cut unemployment figures in the capital. It's National Apprenticeship Week this week, which celebrates apprenticeships and the positive impact they can have on individuals, businesses and the wider economy. Job Centre Plus here in Wales held an information day for young people in Wales, which Matthew Thomas, Head of Customer Services, says was a great success.
Key thing for me is, we work with employers, we work with partners. We had a fantastic day here yesterday in Charles Street Job Centre, which is Wales's largest job centre. With a range of partners, we organised an apprenticeship day. And again, apprenticeships, we had over 1,000 customers through the door yesterday, and they met up with over 30 employers and partners. Really positive, real opportunities, people that are actually young people in particular making improvements to their future. And you asked me earlier about trends. One of the trends is young people. Young people moving back to work is an even better picture. When we look at people who are aged 18 to 24, there's about 32% less claiming universal credit and job seekers allowance compared to the same time last year. So what it shows me is employers are recruiting, young people want to get back to work, and Job Centre Plus, Department of Work and Pensions and our partners are helping people get the skills that they need to do that.
And obviously it's National Apprentice Week this week, and the Welsh Government and the local council are really driving getting into apprenticeships and all these skill-trained jobs. Is that a trend we're likely to see in the future? Obviously university isn't for everyone.
I'm not an expert on university education. What I would say is that we look at our labour market here in Cardiff and on a Wales level and look at the employers that are out there and the skills they need to recruit. What I would say is any of the Welsh Government, UK Government, local government, we will work with all the partners to actually make the opportunities that are available accessible to our customers. One of the great things that Job Centre does is we are that interface with the public, with the interface with people who haven't yet gone back to work. So it's a great place for employers, partners, other organisations to come to actually exchange views and opportunities with those customers.
Key events have been held across Wales to highlight apprenticeships and skills-based jobs throughout Cardiff. The Welsh Government says it still wants to hear from the people of Cardiff about how they can safeguard the nation for future generations. On the 1st of April, the Wellbeing of Future Generations Act will come into effect and protect Wales' economy, communities and culture for years to come. The Act was shaped by a national conversation called The Wales We Want. Politicians in Cardiff Bay say you can still have your say on the issues that matter to you.
I want a Wales where everybody has a place to live.
I want a Wales where community energy is commonplace in communities right around Wales.
Where schools empower young people to live sustainable lives.
Fe hoffwn I weld Cymru yn wlad deg ddwyieithog.
I want a Wales where we're one community, where people can live together, be there for each other and we're not disjointed.
Where I know that my children can live in a safe environment.
Where there are lots of sporty activities.
I'd like to see a Wales where everybody thinks about the common good and is willing to take responsibility for it.
Where everyone has a safe and warm place to live.
Rydw I eisiau Cymru lle mae cyfartaledd a chyfleoedd I bawb.
I want a Wales where everyone can live a dignified life.
Where we have a thriving business community, providing jobs and skills for our young people and producing products and services that are recognised for their quality worldwide.
Where private investors choose it as a destination of choice.
Where everybody has a place to work.
Where all young people dream big dreams.
I want a Wales where everyone is truthful to themselves.
Where the environment and the people and communities are looked after so that it's safe and good to leave for my grandchildren.
That they can still live in the beautiful area where I do live and perhaps carry on some of the traditions.
It's where everybody is proud to be who they are.
It's where we can survive on our own resources rather than other people's.
Mae'r Cymru Fiam yn cynnig bwyd lleol o ansawdd uchel I bawb.
I want a Wales where everyone and everything is healthy.
I want a Wales where everyone realises that coming together, caring for one another, working together, caring for our landscape, caring for people beyond Wales is the only future for humankind.
Hoffwn I Gymru ble mae pawb yn byw gyda'n gilydd ac yn byw mewn hedd.
I want a Wales where we are all friends.
Let's take a look now at what's been happening in and around Cardiff. The mobile phone operator EE is to create 138 new jobs at its call centre in Merthyr. The firm will hold a recruitment fair for staff who would start work between now and September. More than 750 people already work at its Radikar business site. A National Cyber Security Academy is to be set up in Newport to train people to fight internet crime. The first students will start at the University of South Wales Newport campus in October. Students will work with businesses to identify online challenges. The university says cybercrime is one of the major national security threats facing the country. This project's being supported by Welsh Government funding. You're watching Cardiff's local news, still to come on the programme. Cardiff City face Reading tomorrow as they push for the promotion playoffs, and Gareth Bale is rested by Wales as they name their squad to face Northern Ireland and Ukraine. More stories from across the capital when we come back in a few minutes' time.